This time, East Coast style meets eco-friendly design.
Updating this old colonial and doing it earth-friendly.
You name it,
we'll recycle it.
Something borrowed, something blue.
The perfect marriage of the old and the new.
Jackie and Brett Jenks love the great outdoors.
What's so great about this neighborhood is it's full of trees. You can literally walk down to the Potomac River, and we're only 3 miles from the White House.
Scenic trails are just steps away from where they live.
we really love our house. We didn't want to have to move. We needed a little bit more space for the kids.
To get elbow room, we'll need some elbow grease. Their yard is no place to play. The entryway says beware. And there's some unfinished business above the garage.
We feel like we're outgrowing the house a little bit, but we don't want to create a huge looking house. We want it to be comfortable, cozy.
It's going to be bigger, certainly, but we want to do it in an environmentally sound way.
Good. Well, we have a designer that I think is going to be just right for you guys. She's very talented and she's full of renewable energy.
So I hear you guys want to spend a little green.
Well, we're hoping not to spend too much green, but we're just trying to go green.
Designer Julie Weber is leading the way on this eco-friendly makeover.
The house is a beautiful house. It sits up on a really high hill and it sort of gets lost. So the idea is to make it make sense where it is, make it more functional for the homeowners, and doing it environmentally friendly is just a bonus.
The group takes a tour.
So this is where you can see we may need some kind of retaining wall. It's a complete mess.
Right. I mean, the stairs are over there, which is actually not very useful. It would be much more useful if they were right here close to the garage.
They want big changes in the front yard.
With all of this beautiful landscaping that you have here, we're going to have to pull it out further. Are there particular plants that you're partial to that you'd like to try to reuse?
In general, I think we're interested in natural Virginia flora and fauna.
So we're not bringing in any palm trees?
No palm trees.
Julie's vision comes into focus. Up first, a two-story addition above the garage will give the Jenks the additional room they need inside and help balance out the house from the outside. Above, a mock slate roof made of recycled asphalt shingles lends a classic look without the expense of real slate. New energy-efficient windows all around clean up and unify the look and help save on energy costs. The entry is moved from the center to the right to allow for a new porch, extending living space and giving the family a casual place to hang out. For the body, a neutral putty color will tie the addition in with the rest of the house. Below, a flagstone pathway will soften the boxy lines of the house and add more natural elements to the yard. To the left of the driveway, a low-slung retaining wall goes in to clean up the area. And in the yard, an all-native species landscape goes in. Low maintenance, year-round color. So we're increasing, reusing, and recycling.
Will you be refunding as well?
That I can't do. First up, heavy construction. The plan calls for a two-story addition to go above the garage.
The bottom level is going to be a family room, and the top level will be the master bedroom.
And one thing that sets this addition apart, lumber milled exclusively from certified sustainable forestry companies.
Essentially, anything that you're building on your house in the rough framing stage is available in FSC certified lumber.
Some things you have to be aware of when you're putting on an addition is to make sure that it doesn't look like an addition. There's no sense in having a beautiful main house and then you add something on and then it sort of makes the entire thing just look artificial.
You're looking a little bit nervous.
No, not nervous, just concerned that I don't see yet how it's all going to tie together.
New energy-efficient windows are going in.
Having windows and doors that are highly energy efficient boosts the overall energy efficiency of the home, resulting in lower heating bills in the wintertime and lower cooling bills in the summer.
And being flexible in terms of the way they open and also being wood on the inside and outside, we can paint it both the color we want and it's going to work perfectly.
Demo day on the yard, but we have to be careful. Our eco-friendly makeover calls for the reuse of the plants.
Conservation is very important to them. So by saving some of their existing plants, which are beautiful, we get to reuse and they save a little money when we get to the nursery.
The Jenks live in a county that rewards green makeovers with priority permits, guidance, and a wealth of support.
You try to accumulate scores in order to be certified green.
Gotcha. And you're certified if you beat a certain score.
Exactly.
Game on. Go green on the house, save a little green for your pocket. Now that's what I call friendly.
When we come back, to paint or not to paint?
I'm not really comfortable with this.
A new roof made of old tires and dashboards?
What's next? Hubcaps on the chimney?
And how to make an old yard look new again.
This is a great idea.
Next. A few days later, and it's time to talk green, as in plants, shrubs, and trees, with landscape architect Kevin Ganley.
It's a little bit different than your everyday landscaping, where you have to, I think, come up with some creative ways to use natives and make it look showy.
That means working with species that thrive in harsh winters and muggy summers of the mid-Atlantic.
What we'll try to do is use some of the showier perennials that are natives in this area, which will mean at times of the year you'll have some great color from those. Other times of the year there will be a lot of green.
Now the family shops for their new plants, ones that don't require a lot of extra water, fertilizer, and other maintenance. Up first, Coreopsis. It's a native, and butterflies love it.
Well, let's take a look at a couple of others. Over here,
we want color in the summer, and these black-eyed Susans will give us just that.
Is the tall garden phlox that I was just talking to you about. Pretty showy bloom for a native. Yeah, they would bloom each summer.
With these three, the Jenks yard will have color in spring and summer, but fall and winter means less color.
All in all, it will be a pretty dormant landscape in the winter when we use natives.
But winter's supposed to look like winter anyway.
Sure. I mean, that's one of the beauties of this area is anticipating the spring. Once all these plants start to emerge, it's a great contrast from, February till the middle of April.
The Jenks can have a splash of color in the fall by adding a dogwood.
When much of the yard is dying off in the fall, the flowers are gone, that tree's leaves are preparing to fall, and at least we're getting a yellow tree.
You would. You'd have some good yellow foliage, and the dogwood has red foliage, so you'd have a little contrast coming up the steps.
All native, low to no maintenance. It doesn't get any greener than that. We're working on the hardscape for the Jenks eco-friendly makeover. And the stone's going blue.
We chose bluestone for the walkways because it is local and it's a green project, so we want to use local availability on stone and plants. The natural gray tones are kind of soft. It's going to go well with brick color or paint.
Next, the retaining wall to the left of the driveway is going up.
Without major excavation, there's really not any way to fix that steep, bald embankment that's going to wash soil under their driveway. So it's one of the least expensive and most functional ways to fix what's there.
The slope has been cut into grades of less than 2 feet, so the stone can be dry stacked, a big savings over using mortar. Next day, and it's the landscape that gets a new color. Kevin Ganley's got several large azaleas he is replanting from Brett and Jackie's yard for splashy spring color.
We've fortunately been able to save a lot of the previous plantings. They've done a good job of watering them, and we're going to replant a lot of those, which will save quite a bit of money.
Pennsylvania bluestone for the walk, and some matching river gravel for some natural color.
Well, obviously we needed to do some planting to help stabilize the hillside, and it needs to be shade tolerant. It's right under a big oak tree. Once the roots take hold this fall, there should be no problems in the future because they are native plants. They're going to withstand winters well and summers, dry summers as well.
For summer color, he's adding Virginia Sweet Spire.
We've used a few of them in through here to give some height so that you get a little bit of privacy and seclusion on the patio area behind us here.
And the yucca.
This is the yucca filamentosa. It gets a white bloom spike that rises up out of the center of it in the middle of summer. It's a native in this area, and so we're using it to provide some year-round evergreen interest and a different texture in the landscape.
And for the fall color, dogwood. Finally, ferns, spiderwort, and tall garden phlox, low-water plants that provide high curb appeal impact.
I'm feeling really good about the yard. It looks so amazing, and the fact that we were able to reuse all of the existing plants, it's even better.
Well, we did it. And when we come back and you see the results, you'll be green with envy. Ah, come on. You knew that was coming. Who knew that eco-friendly could be so easy? Warm and welcoming, too. Well, we did. Next. Well, it was a tall order. To make new with the old, to make more space for a crowded family, and to do it in an environmentally friendly way. But we nailed it. Check it out. A boxy and forlorn colonial up on a hill was where the Jenks called home. They needed more space and a more welcoming look. A sloping yard with no structure and erosion problems added to the Jenks' woes. So we called on Julie Weber to share her vision of how to take this modest, unassuming house and transform it into a sight for sore eyes. The 1940s red brick is now a handsome soft gray with a beige tint. Sloping yard with no place to play is now covered by a welcoming, handsome porch with ample room for relaxing. The landscape was patchy and kind of blasé. Now, with structure and soft lines, the Jenks have a yard that looks good in all 4 seasons with very little maintenance. The erosion problems are gone for good with a new low retaining wall. The hardscape walk to the front has softened the lines and brought more color to the home. Finally, the 2-story addition brings the Jenks the space they need, but with paint, architecture, and windows, it all blends in. Cute, casual, and cozy. This colonial has shaken off years with a new look that is warm and welcoming, and we did it all the green way.
Oh, it looks so good out here. This is great. I think Julie was really, really helpful in putting the front porch together and helping it to feel like a really warm and welcoming place.
Let's check this out.
Emma loves this little area over here.
Every time I come home, I'm surprised at how the house looks. I'm not used to it yet. And it's exciting. It looks really nice. I think by painting it and by having the porch and some of the lines integrate the 2 sides of the house, it looks as if it's a new home. It's not an old home with a new piece stuck on. Well, it's not as hard as you think to remodel green.
Okay, let's see. Tallying up. Insulation.
Check.
Yep. Landscaping.
Check.
Recycled roof.
Check.
FSC certified lumber.
Check. Big
Energy
check.
Star windows.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Add it all up, and it's official, guys. You are one of the first certified green homes in the county.
Go.
Congrats.